We are live from Boston for an Eastern Conference contest with the Celtics. Welcome, folks, and thanks for sharing part of your weekend with us here at 2K Sports. Kevin Harlan with you, joined by Doris Burke, Greg Anthony, and David Aldridge reporting courtside.
Defensive foul.
You look at Chicago.
Thompson.
And they've done well in this matchup. I mean, 2-0 against them to this point, a win here, and they take the season series with a sweep in sight.
You know, they know what they can do against these guys. I think the key is you try to avoid complacency.
Here's Kobe, following the basket by DeAndre Ayton. And that'll be 2 free throws coming up. Officials on the call with the foul. That's on LeBron James.
The motor of Bryant never stops, even inside where he goes right at the D.
And Kobe drops them both. And these two teams are both aggressive, attacking in transition.
Well, you've got to play to your strengths, right? But really, the league in general is looking for early offense. These teams, no different.
Now, here's Doncic after LeBron James's miss. Here's Achua. And a miss there on the triple. Oh, and a fast break for the Bulls. Holmgren can't hit. And Vucevic has got the ball here for the Celtics. And just about a minute into the first quarter. Thompson in the corner. Clock at 6. To the inside. Here's Achua. And the rejection by Holmgren. And Chet Holmgren's been a great player from day one, Doris. What do you like most about his game?
I don't know which aspect to pick. This guy is a great rim protector. He can shoot the basketball from three-point territory and with great range from 3. But maybe my favorite aspect is the competitive toughness he brings on a nightly basis.
Good on the triple. Holmgren's got 5.
Well, the very definition of a stretch big, right? Chet Holmgren comes in with the reputation as a spacer.
Here's Kobe. And the rejection by Holmgren. And the whistle blew, so that'll be a shooting foul. Great defensive effort there with the blocked shot. But he got more than just the ball that time. Free throws coming up right now. And that one goes in. 2 from the line that time.
And at the line, it's all about consistency with him. His routine, his stroke, it never wavers.
Here in the first quarter with about 2 minutes gone by. Outside, Jones. Yes, and it's LeBron picking up the assist.
They've wasted no time settling into their offense.
Here's Doncic. And easy 2 points on the layup.
Well, there's a mix of touch and power that Luka Doncic brings to the game. You can't take him lightly when he touches the paint.
Now here's James. Looking at his numbers, he averages a bit over 9 points a game. Back to Holmgren. Shooting foul as the whistle blows. He'll shoot 2 free throws.
And you know teams are going to be physical with Holmgren, but he's aggressive, and boy, he plays with passion. Wow, what, he have something in his eye on that shot? Those are chances. Almost always you can rely on him to get you 2 points, but the D, just enough to keep him out of rhythm.
And that one's good. James.
Oh, the rhythm and timing for LeBron James. No hesitation off the catch. You'd love to see it.
And when you talk to people about the Bulls, GA, Michael Jordan's shadow still looms large over this team and organization.
And Kevin, they haven't won a championship before or since he was in Chicago. They've had plenty of good players, Derrick Rose, an MVP, Jimmy Butler as well, but the results haven't been there.
Right now, I'd send it over to the sidelines and get a report from David Aldridge.
Kevin, thanks. If you think Luka Doncic makes amazing shots in games, you should see his trick shots. It's legendary stuff with his teammates. Luka says, I'm just making them up. I like to have fun, so sometimes I just try some new stuff. And of course, Kevin, he always feels like they're going in.
Thank you, D.A. He is a magician with the ball. A very creative mind, and it's fun to watch.
Already set the Summer League record for blocks in his first game. Holmgren, one of the best young shot blockers in the league. Defensively, giving up far too many open rhythm looks.
Here's Doncic. And just miss after miss right now.
This guy has not been a factor at all in this quarter, and it has hurt the team.
And Ayton throws it down.
What a connection DeAndre Ayton has with his guys. Great timing on the alley-oop.
No one near Doncic as he lets it fly. Again, the miss by the Celtics.
Well, this has not been a quarter to remember for this guy. He looks completely flustered.
And he gets the bucket.
It's impressive, the level of domination at both ends, and you're seeing the results.
You know this. It's not easy building a lead on the road, but this team has been lights out throughout the game.
Now, here's Bryant. He's playing a pretty big role for him at the offensive end, averaging about 12.5 points a game. And an intentional foul right there.
Really no idea why you're fouling in a situation like that. You know, maybe there's some bad blood between those two.
Jones, that's for two. And that shot was up in time, but doesn't go in. And as we conclude the first quarter, a one-sided game so far. Bulls
23.
And welcome back to the second quarter of action. Plenty of basketball left to play, but this one has been one-sided so far. And guys, we've seen a confident-looking Bulls team out there.
Guys, I love their defense in that first period. They were in position and just challenging shots.
Well, I think they combined great intelligence with great effort, and you can see the results. Boy, he won't miss many from that spot. The defense gets lucky there.
Bailey, off target from three-point range. Celtics trailed by 17. Now Sasser. Over in the corner, Shepard. 6 to shoot. Picked away. Outside, Markkanen. A three-pointer off the mark. And it's the Celtics ball. Here's Penny. And he drew the blocking foul. He'll go to the line for two. Greg, you look at today's point guards. So many different types that can be effective.
And there's a lot more freedom for point guards to kind of explore the parameters of their game. Sometimes it's steadying an offense. Other times it's to ignite it.
The Bulls with another miss.
Listen, offensively, they're very comfortable with him taking that shot. It's a good look under very little pressure. He just can't convert.
Sasser with it. He has yet to score. Gets the three-pointer to fall.
Pick works well there. Not much resistance from the D.
It takes incredible effort to stay connected to the hip of the offensive player. You've got to want to work.
And the basket by Bailey.
And guys getting into a nice groove here, starting to feel it.
And this is partly what the game has become, right? A matter of dueling three-point opportunities.
Pass to Champagny. Tried to answer back, but that three is off the mark. In transition, here come the Bulls. And the shot is good. And the Bulls lead by 18.
You gotta love his hustle, leaving the defense no time to react.
The finish in transition, nice and easy.
Inside, Dobers.
Well, what he lacks in size for a typical center, he makes up for with all that athleticism. Boy, can he elevate.
Pass to Ware. And that's dunk to finish it off. A beauty.
Oh, he's putting on a show for these fans.
I can't believe he pulled that one out in the course of an actual game.
Well, that's his second foul. Does he take a more cautious approach here the rest of the half?
Second quarter of play with almost 3 minutes gone.
And now only one away from being in the penalty.
First personal foul. Third team foul.
Now, here's Doncic. They look to him for part of their offensive attack. Right now, he averages nearly 12 points a game.
Yeah, an offensive player like Luka expects the contact. He's anticipating it, so it doesn't bother him. That's a big-time finish.
Unwilling to let up, even for a moment. That's his killer instinct, just fanning the flame.
One thing I enjoy is watching players who don't pay attention to the score. You lock in on the moment and play the right way.
And they pick up 2. Bryant's got 6 points.
Inside the paint, Bryant is just as much trouble. He's practically a sure thing from in close.
It's hard to believe, but Luka Doncic is still in his mid-20s. Doris, does he even have a ceiling?
That is the question, Kevin, and I'm not sure he does, because in the first part of his career, he's been all NBA consistently, and we're talking first team multiple times. He's averaged over 30 in a season. I don't think there is a ceiling, Kevin.
To the middle. Here's Ware, and that one is stuffed right through.
My goodness, he is such a great dunker.
Greg, a high riser, no doubt about it. Here's Bailey, sinks the triple. 9 points in the game so far. And taking a quick look here at the hustle stats for the Bulls.
Chicago foul.
Just a great job so far applying pressure defensively. The opposition is on their heels with the ball in their hand. Nightmarish clamps thus far.
I think the other thing they're doing is they're wearing out the opponent in transition, exploding up the floor for easy chances.
And you know what? He's just not on his game, no doubt about it. Their deficit isn't totally on him, but he has not been an asset for his team.
Pass to Joe. Here's Murray Boyle. Guarded by Doncic.
Nice there, getting the reverse. Love that. And the fans got a little bit of a show there.
Guys, that one definitely had a little something extra on it. It's Joe on the wing. Here's Ware. Fouled in the act of shooting. Gets the bucket anyway, so a three-point play chance for him.
And guys, they continue to put a lot of pressure on the interior defenders with their work down low.
And a deep three from Doncic. And it's going to be out of bounds. The Bulls will take it.
Bulls ball.
A dominating first half of basketball, and so far hasn't been close. It's Chicago as they end the second quarter with an energy burst, a 19-6 run. Stay with us, folks. We'll get back just after halftime to start the third quarter. Well, we've got a second half of basketball for you. We think it's going to be pretty good. A big comeback, though, is needed for this game to be competitive, and it probably has to happen quickly. To the paint. Pass to Kobe. Celtics passing it around. Ball stolen. It's 2-on-1. Doncic with the steal. Vucevic down low. Still without a basket. No good on that one.
The edge on the glass is the difference. It's allowed them to build this lead.
Murray Boyles with the bucket.
Pretty much all of their buckets coming from inside the paint now.
Here's Bryant. The shot's good on the assist by Vucevic. Kobe's got 8 points.
Such body control from Bryant. Able to take some hits there on the way up.
Joe can't get it to go. They set the pick. Kobe, that's for 2. It's deflected.
Well, trying to find themselves in the second half here. Just 1 for 4 from the field. Can someone in the group get hot? Let's see. Well, you love the activity out there. What a play. This guy is busy on the offensive end.
And it's blocked.
1 for 5 has got to be a frustrating start, and they just don't look sharp right now. Can they find their offensive game?
And he rushed that one, no doubt about it. The D out of position, you could see the frustration on his face.
Picked by Vucevic. Swiped it away. Fast break. Here comes Chicago. Whoops, anticipated the pass. Turnover. Here's Thompson.
Oh, you got to be kidding.
And his athleticism is really off the charts. Love seeing Thompson punching home like that.
Pass to Markkanen. Here's Joe. Drains it from beyond the arc. Joe's got himself going there. His first points of the game on the deep ball.
Yeah, those are starting to add up, guys. Up their last 5 baskets, 3 have been triples.
And he makes that one.
Great awareness by Thompson, wanting to find his open teammates whenever he can.
Now Markkanen over Thompson. Markkanen can't get it to go. Kobe, that's for 2. Fast break. Here comes Chicago. Joe with it. Picked up by Kobe. Bailey misses.
Well, when you've been struggling as he has, you love that your teammates have really stepped up and taken the challenge.
Yeah, heard the whistle and then kept his focus and able to still knock it down.
The Bulls shooting their 5th free throw of the game here.
And they've had really good numbers all season from the free throw line.
You know, Doris, every so often there are guys that come along that you can build a franchise around, and Luka Doncic seems to be one of them.
There's no question, Kevin, and if I were putting a team around Luka Doncic, I'd want to have multiple vertical threats at the rim and shooters at every other position, because at that point, Luka is unguardable.
Pass to Holmgren. Back to Leonard. Pulls it up. Sobers with the rebound.
Well, he's a quality mid-range shooter, but he can't get that one to go.
And the rejection by Holmgren.
Wow, Chet Holmgren sending it back. He is willing to take on any kind of challenge.
1:20 left to play in the third. Here's Shepherd. Offline with his 3. And here are the Bulls now. Here's Jones. Buries the jumper to finish the break. Jones has got his 3rd bucket of the night.
Assists like that have typified their effort today. Terrific ball movement.
So far, we've seen them be a bit careless with the ball.
Simply put, out of control is how they played thus far. They're going to have to reel it in and show some more discipline.
.51 seconds left to play here in the third. Here's Holmgren. And the Bulls tack on 2 more.
And playing up-tempo, pro-level ball can be hard for some guys, but Holmgren has easily made the transition.
Pass to Achua. Here's Sobers. Nice fake, but the layup off the mark. There's 18 seconds left in the third. Here's Ayton. Back to Holmgren. And he's good on the 3 ball. Holmgren's got 10.
And they have been relentless from deep. And you see the defense trying to react, but to no avail.
Well, that's the whole point, isn't it? If you space the floor well enough, it's almost impossible for the defense to account for everyone.
The dunk by Achua.
Well, not exactly one of those big, burly power forwards, right? He depends on his leaping ability more than those guys, and it serves him just fine.
And so it's the Chicago Bulls with a 34-point advantage heading into the break. And they're
16.
And there have been two very different performances from these teams today as we get going in quarter number 4. Chicago with the ball. Pass to Williams. Some nice ball movement here by the Bulls. Here's Grimes. Dives to the hoop. Comes up empty down low.
Never easy to stop this guy at the rim, but that is a beautiful contest right there.
And all you got to do is look at the rebounding margin as to why they hold the lead.
Well, they've absolutely dominated that category in this one, and it's reflected in the score.
And really, as the three-pointers keep dropping, you get the sense that the frustration is mounting for the defense.
Pass to Shepard. Goes back up. Sobers. And he gets the whistle. 2 free throws coming up.
Personal foul. First team.
And let's get your take, guys, on the scoring breakdown for the Bulls.
The three-pointers and how well they're able to shoot them. You wonder if they can keep it up, and boy, have they.
Well, I also noticed, guys, how much they move the ball in this one. Selfless, willing to pass the ball to a teammate with a better look.
Pass to Jones. Here's Reith. Stolen. Here's Bryant. And the shot goes in.
And defensively, they are on their heels every time the ball comes inside.
Now, here's Okoro. Back to Williams. Here's Grimes. It's hauled in by Achua. And so Doncic will bring it up for Boston. And Sobers gets it to drop. Sobers has got 4 points now in the quarter.
Yeah, the court awareness that Luka plays with, knows exactly when and where to deliver the pass.
Pass to Grimes. You know, Doris, I'm not sure many people take into account what a grind the NBA season is.
I couldn't agree more, Kevin. And listen, these guys have the best of what's available. They stay in top-quality hotels. They have incredible professionals that take care of them. But there is no making up for lack of sleep when you've played a game at 8 o'clock at night, you leave the arena at 1, and you may arrive in your next city at 4 or 5 a.m. and tip off that night at 7, and this goes on week after week. It is not easy. You often hear the phrase franchise player. When you think about Luka Doncic and the amount he controls the action, the MVP level play, he is the true definition of it.
Time called here. The Celtics decide to talk it over.
The Celtics Entertainment.
Both good from the line that time.
Wow, they've made every free throw here in the second half.
Here's Grimes with the drive.
Boy, how about Quentin Grimes attacking off the bounce? That is a pretty play.
We're in the fourth quarter here, just under 2.5 minutes gone. Doncic looking it over. Here's the three. Trains the three-pointer. Doncic has got 5 points in the quarter.
Boy, the deep ball from Luka Doncic. This guy does not lack for confidence.
Bryant. Oh, he blocked it and deflects off the backboard. Pass to Doncic. Terrific assist. A nice finish. Solid play all around.
And can you always depend on him or what to lead you to the right place with that pass? Money.
2 minutes remaining in the game.
Here's Reith. Williams with the ball. No good from outside. Here's Boston now. This run now up to 13-2. And it's Vucevic in the corner. Shoots the three. Chicago grabs the miss. .133 left in the fourth quarter of this one. Kobe with the steal.
And one team is just completely outclassing the other tonight. Spirited performance, and it really ignited what is turning out to be a monster win here for the Bulls.
And this was one that never really was in doubt, I thought, an all-around dominant performance. And you kind of thought that maybe even going into the game.
Yeah, there was a sense of that in men. They just pretty much blew them right out of the water. A clinic was put on display here today.
And when it's all said and done here, this will mark their 38th W on the year.
And this will be their third win in 3 tries against these guys. They match up so well.
The one player that really stands out, of course, in this one, it was a dazzling game for Chet Holmgren.
Boy, you couldn't help but notice how well this guy protected the rim. There was an intimidation factor thanks to his defense. No easy shots in his neighborhood tonight.
To the left wing. Pass to Joe. Over Doncic. Joe, good.
Saw the opportunity to put this away and did not turn it down.
Yeah, playing with great energy and great effort. And as a coach, you'd love to see this from your team every single night.
Just 1 second between the shot clock and game clock. Shot clock at 6. And here's Doncic from the arc. He's off on that one. And so Chicago takes this one, and by a big margin. To come into an opponent's building and dominate the way they did tonight says, I think, Greg, an awful lot about this team.
I guess they don't need home cooking to feel at home. I mean,